It's day one here on the Maze Runner set. We're climbing a lot of sand dunes. Me and Ki-Hong Lee, who plays Minho, we're just dragging Alex Flores, who plays Winston, up this sand dune while Dylan O'Brien and Kaya and Thomas Сэнгстер and Jacob are leading the pack. So it's a little tough, first day, but it's good to get the juices flowing and get ready for a long movie shoot. We're excited. Here we go. Oh my God!
The Maze Runner was a perfect situation in terms of the book, all the elements coming together with great screenwriter and a visionary young director in Wes Ball.
I think one of the things is that nobody imagined visually the scope and the scale of the maze that Wes created, and I think that was a blast for people.
We felt pretty proud of what we made, especially what we had, but it definitely far exceeded our expectations in terms of they reach beyond just the fans. Turns out now, I think we have more movie fans than we have book fans now.
I don't think anybody truly expected it to do what it did. We shot it like a small little indie almost. Very personal, it was very private. It was like a special thing that we were creating that was close to our hearts. And so to see something like that do well is always a good thing.
I think everyone involved put a lot of work into it, and it's always great to know that the thing that you care a lot about actually gets out there, gets seen by people.
When I saw the film, I was just nothing but proud, and it is nice to get the approval of the original fan base of the book, where the story came from. So yeah, it was just kind of awesome just how it all came together.
Okay, here we go at number one.
Wes Ball, who directed Maze Runner, is back to direct Scorch Trials.
Exactly, right in there. Almost kind of behind him in a way,
I love the fact that we have that continuity. It really has become his vision of the world of the Maze Runner. And the actors, of course, were ecstatic because they fell in love with Wes on the first film.
And just kind of just do it what you do. The thing that most appealed to me about the sequel was the open space.
It's like they're getting further away.
We just gotta keep moving. We can make it.
The other movie, it was very small, and this thing was about wide open spaces. These characters can get anywhere, and I always like the idea that they're out of the maze, but they're still lost. It still comes back to these characters that don't have a clue what's coming next. It feels like an extension of the first movie that we started. It feels like a real proper saga.
Keep going, go, get inside!
It's fun. It feels like a different movie, but still belongs in the story that we started setting up in the first one, so it's kind of exciting.
I think the second script really soars.
Tell me what you know about the right arm.
I thought you said they were ghosts.
I happen to believe in ghosts.
I think it's just an amazing tapestry and backdrop for some great storytelling.
In this movie, we travel through 3 different worlds, and it's almost like we're shooting 3 different movies. You have the Wicked compound.
Oh, I got some. Too slow.
And then you have the outside walking through the Scorch scenes, which is totally different. Then you have Jorge's lair with all the cranks and Crankland. I'm really excited to see how Wes is gonna mesh it all together.
You need a director who's got a vision, who knows what he wants, and he knows how to get it from the story onto the screen and visualize it in a way that's cinematic.
I have 100% confidence in you. There are things in books that don't work in movies. There are things in movies that don't work in books. And I feel like the writers and director Wes Ball and all the producers have just done a fantastic job of taking my book, caring about my readers, caring about the story, caring about the characters, but transforming it into this amazing cinematic experience where you're experiencing the story again for the first time, and I couldn't be happier. I really feel like they nailed it.
Sorry about all the fuss. We had ourselves a bit of a swarm. Who are you? I'm the reason you're all still alive. It's my intention to keep you that way.
It's always about talking to James and making sure we're being true to the spirit of what he was intending and trying not to contradict James, but just kind of maybe enhance and slightly deviate a little bit where we need to.
James knows that choices are made sometimes in terms of where you differ from a book and what's better in terms of the big screen look.
Eric, you're lucky we didn't shoot your dumb ass. You all right, man?
What's happening?
We stay very true to the characters and very true to the essence of the story and, what the underlying themes are.
They're immunes. Caught him coming up the mountain.
You check him?
That's my friend Harris. I trust him.
And, no matter if the story's different, it still has the same intent and the same purpose.
But you also look for opportunities to provide something cinematic and different than what they've experienced in the book. There's a scene in the book where our gladiators are leaving the bunker and they are almost bumping into these hanging bodies, these dead bodies, and we wanted something that sort of evoked that feeling.
It's expanding from the book, but that image is very distinct and very iconic, so we took that idea and ran with it, essentially.
And Wes designed this sort of thing where you realize their bodies are being drained of this fluid, and we hired these very kind of athletic extras, and then we built this device that would actually hold them up, and then we would bring in boxes just for them to stand on in between takes. But in the way in which they were hanging, like, you could only do it for like 3 minutes because you would almost start to pass out because it starts to like cut your blood flows.
We needed something very tangible, basically, for why the kids are immune, what Wicked is basically doing to them because they're immune.
Toss! We gotta go. What's up? We gotta go right now!
And we wanted something absolutely horrific that's worse than just, let's dissect their brain. We've seen that a million times. These kids go into the bunker and they suddenly come out into the room and there's hanging bodies in the room. There are all these dead bodies hanging like in a meat locker.
These kids had to play dead, basically. They had to play dead, and we had to make sure they could play dead without actually making them dead.
She's leaking.
Yep.
Okay, you know. I mean, she's not leaking.
We're going to try to hold on to the secret as much as possible because it's going to be a very kind of like what the, kind of moment for the audience, I think, where you're really going to understand what Wicked is doing and to what end, essentially.
Whatever it is you've been doing to them in there, it's working.
Not well enough.
So the farm is basically what forces our kids out, which is also another kind of change that we're making. In the book, it's very much they meet Jansen in this bunker, and Jansen says, hey, I'm still with Wicked. You guys have to go journey across the Scorch, and then you'll get a cure at the end of the Scorch. That's just not dramatic for a movie. You need these kids on the run so that Wicked can pursue them.
Come on, come on!
It's a little bit of departure from the book, but it gives us a pretty awesome kind of escape kind of sequence that these kids get to flee this place one last time.
The only guy who could have made my book into a movie.
So you say after this one. So our approach was basically to take his stories and figure out how to just re-engineer them a little bit so that we can make the best next 2 movies. So it's still a lot of the same kind of journey, it's the same characters that people love those books, but we might just reinvent them a little bit just to serve the cinematic needs that we felt we needed.
Thomas, what's wrong? I hate to see you. I'm just trying to explain things before.
But we're going to make a really good saga story now that kind of can really just keep climbing all the way up to that great finale of what we're kind of thinking already about for the 3rd movie.
I knew that the Scorch trials would be a bigger challenge than Maze Runner. For one thing, small changes you make in the first movie have ripple effects, snowball effects that get bigger and bigger. So I'm very happy with Scorch Trials. I think that my readers will be very happy.
And as long as you have a filmmaker that's really tracked through the entire story, you're confident that you can pull off these things and excite the audience, because you not only want to excite the people that have read the books, you want to excite people that haven't.
Those mountains, that's got to be it. That's where we're going.
That's a long way off. A bigger, richer world that we could play in. The sets are huge. They're absolutely massive in this one. We have a new production designer this time. His name is Dan Dorrance, who's fantastic.
He is extraordinary designer and builder and just unruffled by any challenge that you put before him. It really is a completely different world from the first movie. We're shooting in New Mexico. It's a totally different landscape.
Okay, we're rolling.
Ultimately, we have this journey, so we're trying to describe what each element of the journey is in terms of what the look of the Scorch is. When are we in the sand? When are we in a rubbled city? When are we in a barren landscape, dry lake bed kind of an effect? They're all just huge, epic sort of landscapes. You have to really get very specific on where they walk.
That's all I need. I don't need a lot. Just one little step forward.
What's around them physically, and then what's above their heads is visual effects, and sometimes they're interacting with visual effects.
Good evening, Dr. Page. Lovely to see you again. Although I admit I wasn't expecting to hear from you quite so soon.
The farm itself is a big set, and I wanted bigger and bigger and bigger. Action! It ended up being just this long, huge set that stretched all the way from the hallway, that little round circular hallway, the kind of Death Star hallway that we call it, that stretches all the way into the Griever little lab, all the way into the farm and beyond. It was just a really big, giant set. It's going to be exciting to see what an audience thinks of this thing.
Come on, Thomas, let's go! Come on!
After we get out of the farm and meet Jorge in his little penthouse suite, basically, where we built that on stage. It was probably one of the coolest sets we had in the entire movie.
Jorge, they're here.
Do you ever get the feeling the whole world's against you?
It's a really, really great build by Dan. A lot of character and a lot of cool stuff there.
About ready to enter Jorge's lair here, penthouse / crank pit, and give a little tour here, show the set around.
All right.
We're walking into Jorge's sort of living space, where sort of dotted around are some of his books and things like that. He's kind of a tinkerer, wires everywhere. He sort of rigged his own power in the place. So we got a lot of different projects going on different desks and things like that. So trying to give him a little bit of what's in his space and make sense of it. The sort of design cue of the whole place is taken off the main location that we started in, which is the rail yard in Albuquerque. I love this sort of factory look, that sort of 40s, 50s things that you can kind of play upon.
Something that's really struck me is just all the teeny tiny details. I mean, you look under the benches and what's on the benches, and there's old school vinyl albums over there. And as a writer, I love that some of the things he scavenged are books.
Right.
So books will always be important.
This is Jorge's war cabinet. It's got everything special to him. Everything he wants to keep locked up safe for the time he needs it. Just his radio, his favorite records, his bombs, his guns, and his nice selection of knives. And of course his favorite teddy bear, Poopy Bear.
Go! Go! Go!
This was Brenda's space. This is where she comes and tinkers. Obviously she sleeps over here, and the water saving sort of devices and things like that, which I know you guys sort of touched on the Maze Runner as well, which is great.
That's cool. I love all the old computer equipment. We wish we could preserve this and make it like the upstairs of my house. It's just it'd be fun to hang out in here.
We've heard that comment a few times. I wish I could too. It's it's kind of a shame it has to come down.
And that's the beauty of film. I mean, it's captured forever.
That's true. That's exactly right.
All right, cut.
And cut.
After we get out of Jorge's lair, we go into Crankland, which is, we took out over a couple blocks of downtown Albuquerque.
It's kind of a city that's been a shanty town of a downtown that the Cranks live within, which we have to go in and basically thrash the place.
It's a place you would not want to live, basically, is what we want to try to set up there. So that was a lot of fun.
Once we've hit that overall notion, then we can start breaking down the element within, and how does the action take place within that? What do we build versus what becomes visual effect? It's kind of that sort of the power of being able to do that, I suppose, is the fun part, and making something out of it that's, sort of great to photograph. So we're standing in Diamond Tail Ranch, which makes up about 212 acres here. We found probably 3 acres here to build our set on. And we're standing in the aftermath now, what was the right arm camp in the story. The site was sort of picked mainly because of the 2 rock formations that exist on the property, and sort of built our camp within it.
This is all for us.
You guys are lucky you found us when you did.
We're sort of developing who the right arm was, and is this the camp of the right arm? And it came to be that this was not the ultimate camp. This was sort of a checkpoint to the ultimate goal, which is sort of the Xanadu of the right arm camp.
And action!
So we try to show a temporary feel here, yet they've been here long enough to entrench themselves with cooking in water, some smaller tents. They had some bigger army tents that sort of housed the medical, things like that. Anything that they would need to survive ultimately.
We're gonna blow some buildings up. It's all coming down. Yeah, we're in the rail yards in Albuquerque, downtown. First thing we're gonna do is little shape charges that kind of start the demolition to happen. And then after that, we'll do the big giant fireballs. So it's a controlled, booby trap that Jorge set up for anyone that tries to take over his lair.
Hey, action!
I didn't see anything, but
it's all yours. We're gonna let a little roll.
It's a good way to end the day. Bunch of fireworks.
The Scorch in the city is, in a sense, our maze, the expanded maze. So from a visual effects standpoint, working with Richard Hollander, our VFX supervisor, Wes has been able to create a much bigger world.
It's a significant amount more effects this time, and they're way bigger, really epic shots.
What's interesting about Wes is when he introduced me to the Scorch trials, it was both by telling me the story of the movie, but also showing me comps that he had done, or mashups of imagery of buildings that were in a certain state and people wandering through. So my first discussion was a sort of audio-visual extravaganza, which was great. And Wes had done them all. Is very much a production designer at heart.
Come on, keep up.
They're geniuses at what they do, and they understand turning something from the written word into a cinematic experience.
I'm real proud of how this movie looks. It looks 10 times more expensive than it really is, which is fun. But yeah, it's all about the team, and I'm glad I have them.
All right, cut everybody.
One of the strengths of the first movie, The Maze Runner, is the quality of the actors we had, the sort of the family that the Gladers created in real life, but also in the movie. Now they're going to have to face all these tribulations to see whether they remain as a family.
Come on, let's go. We gotta go.
I am back in this chair because of that cast. I mean, they are really, really wonderful people. They're the reasons that you kind of connect with the story and care.
These kids came together and bonded immediately, bonded over the kind of the journey they were about to go on. They had fun making the movie and became friends and have remained friends.
Action.
Teresa. Thomas.
Just the experience in and of itself, we felt like we all collectively really cared about the story.
I think Wes and the studio and our producers, Wick and Joe, they did a really good job of finding the right actors to play the right roles. He broke my heart. We are kind of extensions of our character in a sense.
Dexter and I are just really good friends. I would say we're all really good friends.
Leave me alone.
Hydrate him.
Oh, okay, hydrate him.
We just give each other a little crap here and there, but it's all with love.
How's it looking?
Well, we're thrown into what is beyond the maze. So we meet an awful lot of different people, but we all get on very, very well.
Thomas thinks that the last place that they should be is with Wicked, and I agree, as the actor who plays him.
Well, look, I know that we can do this.
He feels a lot of pressure, especially in this movie. He's kind of led this group, to what he thinks is right, and all he knows is this life and what he's experienced, and his loss, and how they've hurt the only people he knows and loves, and, I think that's the only thing that he really thinks about.
Minho is the keeper of the runners in the first movie. I want to say Minho is more of a very reserved leader. He understands that Thomas is a clear leader now, and Newt's always been second in command in the Glade. It's just all about trying to please the fans and also, bring this guy to life.
Now that we're in the second film and we have Winston on Thomas's side, and his position in the film is to just keep this idea of freedom alive, and definitely tries to be the hero, and I think he succeeds in his way.
Get the door open!
What I love so much about our movie and our cast is that, these are just ordinary kids in absolute extraordinary situations, and they're not superheroes.
The one thing I was looking forward to the most was being able to hang out and work with these guys again, and to have, new members of the cast coming in.
In the Scorch Trials, we had some great older characters in the cast and some newer, younger characters. We wanted to find that model of really great actors, great faces, people that you had seen before, and that wouldn't take you out of the movie or the story we were trying to tell.
Hoes before bros.
Boys night out. These new characters coming in, the new castmates coming in, and they fit right in. You know, they just kind of, you know, just became a part of this little family unit, you know, and it's really kind of heartwarming.
Right off the bat, you meet Jansen, who the fans of the book know as the Rat Man.
As far as the kids are concerned, this is a guy who's a kind of savior, some kind of rebel leader that they're not quite sure about.
How many did we get?
All of them. What registered with me with the film was, I thought there was some very naturalistic performances from the younger actors, you know, quite fresh, real performances.
They also meet Eris, the lone boy from Maze B. In casting Jacob, you know, he's somebody that we had all seen in Mud and liked as sort of a young actor.
Eris, what happened? Thomas, can you just calm down and talk to us? No!
Eris is helping escape from Wicked, but at the same time not really knowing where to go. So it's a team effort between him and Thomas to try to get him, you know, away from Wicked as fast as they can.
It's my friend Eris. I trust him.
We got Harriet and Sonia, both played by Natali and Kэtrин McNamara.
Harriet is tough and she's not, you know, afraid of fighting for freedom, essentially. She's the leader of a group of girls that escaped a Maze B. It was her and her second-in-command, Sonia.
I play this rough and tumble kind of badass chick. I have a lot of friends who are big fans of the books, and when I went and saw the first film, I was completely floored. It was incredible, it was so well done, and the cast was absolutely impeccable. What's so great about this story is that there are so many different, rich, diverse characters.
Morning.
Through that, they've kind of been able to put together a cast of rich, diverse, amazing people. And so it just makes for an amazing dynamic both on and off set.
James Brown, I can't.
I don't know if that happens that often. Be working on something that you're really proud of, and at the same time, having this experience with these guys who become your great friends that you'll have forever, you know?
The coolest part of the movie, I think, to me, is really once they meet Jorge and Brenda.
I was with my 11-year-old who, at the movies, and we saw a poster, and she said, "Oh, we got to see it first weekend." And the day after I saw the film, I got a call saying, "You're going to be in Los Angeles. Will you meet with this guy, Wes?" I was just like, what? How could this happen? I just saw the movie, and his work is really, really good. My character in Jorge hasn't given up. He's a guy who has decided to create a world for himself and the folks who follow him by doing some things that could be looked at as reprehensible. It's a combination of darkness and light.
What is that? Stay back, stay back!
You guys look like shit.
Rosa Salazar coming in as Brenda.
Just another day at the office.
She's been living with these pirates and Jorge for most of her life, so she doesn't need anyone to help her.
Whoa, what are you doing?
Just by being with Jorge and their relationship, you know that she's sort of been cast out and been on her own, and this guy is her father figure and has taken her under his wing, but she's still really tough and really independent, but she starts to open up, and Thomas helps her with that.
Barry Pepper, who plays his character Vince, a real absolute professional and just joy to work with.
Well, my daughter, she'd read the series, and then it was almost sort of kismet because I had got a phone call, I don't know, maybe a week later, saying, did I want to play Vince in the Scorch Trials.
She's not dangerous yet, it just happened. You shouldn't have brought her here.
They've been so impressive, and they're very loving. They've just welcomed me in with open arms.
When a movie's tough, it creates this bond amongst like the cast and the crew, and that helps a lot along the way. But it's even kind of cooler too when you get with this group of people and you work for 3.5 months, you know, and you see it come together.
It really is a joy to kind of work with all these guys. They're just so humble and hardworking. They all support each other. Let's go. They consider themselves brothers and sisters now at this point. It's fun to be around that.
Whatever you want.
Doesn't get any better than this.
Here we go. Welcome to the Scorch.
This movie's been as rigorous, if not way more, than the first one. I never thought that possible. Still a lot of running and just other stuff too. It's beyond just the running. We're not just running, we're running through sandstorms and we're trudging up, dunes, we're battling cranks, soldiers.
Cover! Go!
The hardest thing I'd ever had to do.
I'm getting tased, man. This is a very, very physical movie. There's a lot of wire pulls. And just, the fun stuff, blasting through windows and getting shot, and getting blown up, and all kinds of crazy stuff.
I was so surprised at how much running there would be in Maze Runner.
Come on, hurry! We're running out of time! I got eyes on! Here, follow me!
I was like shocked. It's called Maze Runner for a reason, and you do run a lot.
It's been tough. It's definitely been the most physically challenging shoot I've ever done.
Everybody hide! Hide!
Albuquerque's a different beast. It's already hard to grab for air, and then when you're running up sand dunes and when you're running in and out of tunnels, it's like, you're really doing this stuff. It's like, we are really doing this stuff.
A little further, guys. Running up and down sand dunes that literally kind of on about that angle and maybe at 50 to 100 feet high is really hard. It's hard to do anyway, but then when you get to the top and you have zero oxygen, zero breath, it's just like everything's gone. They had oxygen tanks standing by.
When you're out in that sun and the sand, you're really going nowhere. It just falls away under your feet. It's really difficult stuff. And now on top of that, Albuquerque is a mile-high city. The atmosphere is way thinner. It makes things really taxing on everyone. In fact, by the end of the movie, people were dropping like flies. I mean, we had so many things happen at the end that it's amazing it all kind of worked out. This one beat everyone up for sure.
We ran our actors through the gamut of actually trying to survive.
One time they were like, 1, 2, 3, and I slid all the way down the elevator cable, hit my butt on a metal ring that's at the bottom there, and I'm just like, keep going. So I turn around, I'm just like, ugh. And you have to jump back, but that one hurt. There's gonna be such a bruise. Oof.
I can't wait.
There's gonna be such a bruise.
We had a lot of men down on this movie. Barry Pepper broke his leg. Dexter Darden had a sickness that he had to deal with.
Someone call 911! His wrist is broken! He's passed out!
Well, let's see. I had a minor fracture on my knee doing a stunt. And then I had my appendix removed last week. So I still have 3 scars here. So yeah, it's been a very painful shoot.
We had a lot of injuries and a lot of people fell and a lot of people get back up.
It's always cool when a movie's tough like that. I mean, we have a great crew.
Those are the people who save our lives.
Thanks, George.
There they are. Yeah! Yeah! They're the only reason I still have a heartbeat.
Filming movies is not easy at all, and but that's part of what makes them so cool.
Thomas. Get him in line.
It's been great working with Dillan, actually. He's worked to the bone, Those kids, particularly him, they're working every day, and they're long days, and it's a long shoot. So hats off to the dedication and energy and commitment that I see, and you see it it's kind of always there.
Hey! You know how to use this thing? Cover me! This 50's our only chance!
It's a true trial for these kids. They've been, having to tromp through the desert and truly practical, punishing landscapes that they've been in. Really long hours and difficult action they've had to do. Yeah, really impressive bunch.
It was weird because it would be cold in the morning and then warm in the afternoon and then freezing again. We were trying to figure out how to dress for the situation.
Wardrobe was crafty enough to create these t-shirts that have hand warmers in them. And it kind of helps, but we're gonna be on nights and it's gonna be nighttime up here and cold. breath.
And there were days it was 7 degrees. You know, it was just absolutely freezing. Sometimes it would snow on us, and it's not supposed to snow. It would hail in the middle of one scene, you know? It made shooting really cold because, I mean, you've got these characters in basically a jacket and a t-shirt, you know? So it's like they'd do their scene and they'd run into the tent and get warm and come back and do it again, you know? So a lot of times, like Dillon in particular, he was like, oh, let's go, let's get this done. You know, because like he wouldn't want to go back and get warm and get cold. It's just, let's just get it done, because like that sense of kind of pace and energy kind of kept him warm in a way.
Can't feel my ears.
Here we go.
That's how you warm up your lips when you're about to go.
Any day we can survive the day is a favorite day. Any day you're in the warmth of a confined soundstage like this, given how cold it's been, is a pretty awesome day.
But I think that's all nature of the beast. You know, it's like when you're physically attached to a project as well as mentally attached to a project, you know, people are going to get down, but they're always going to get back up.
It's been really fun. We really do spend every moment together, and it's just really natural.
Get some of that. Kai doesn't even know it's in my hands. The American classic.
For 2 days we had to be strung up in harnesses and be pulled up on ropes completely vertically, which is really not very nice at all.
Oh, here we go. We're GoProing. Keep on. Oh, this is great.
Turn it the wrong way so that it looks like we're actually upside down.
Oh, that could be kind of cool, you're right.
We're rolling.
Bye.
Oh, I can touch it.
Good plan, Thomas. Just hear what the man has to say. Really working out for us. Shut up, Pino.
Immediately all the blood just rushes to your head and your feet go numb and get pins and needles, and it's after 2 minutes you just want to come down, and we did it for 2 days, and it just makes you feel weird. That was pretty tough.
It was fun. It was really cool to see them do that stuff, and I'm glad they were game for it, because if I had a bunch of actors that couldn't do it, I don't know what I would do.
Stop! Stay right where you are.
We had this girder scene where they're climbing out in these girders in the rail yard in Jorge's lair.
Hey, Tomo! Right now, where are we going?
And it was fantastic. I mean, both of them just got out there and just did it, and they're 40 feet up in the air with nothing down below them except, you know, some sharp metal, you know.
I am not afraid of anything, but then for some reason, walking across the beam it was so daunting.
I couldn't imagine doing that in heels.
It's not more than like this wide, so it's not even a foot wide. And then they're like, okay, reset. So you turn around and you're just like, Rosa is like walking across the beam. And so I'm just sort of like, oh my God, this is really high up. You're just like sort of doing this, and they're like, look up, it helps. And everyone's yelling like helpful suggestions at you, and you're just like, shut up. And you're just like, oh my God. And then you get to the other side, and Dylan's like making me laugh.
Scorch trials. We're gonna die. Parkour, we're all gonna die.
All of our young folks, Dylan and Dex and, you know, Kaya, it's fantastic because they just hit it. And it's really nice and refreshing to be with folks who aren't trying to be anything but what they are.
You kids want to get to the right arm? I'll lead you to them, but you're gonna owe me. Follow me!
All right, let's go!
It was exciting. I mean, I think it scared some people, but I loved saying my line to Thomas, and Mijo says to me, you go first, hermano. And I just look at him, and I go, gosh, you kids really need to know, you have to learn how to trust sometime.
All right.
Yesterday, I spent the whole day filming the one scene where Thomas first meets Jorge.
Looks like you're tagged. You came from Wicked.
And they must have done it from 10, 11, 12 angles. To see them do the same scene all day yesterday was really eye-opening for me. I've learned how extremely difficult it is to make a 3-minute scene.
It's not easy to shoot these movies. We don't have much time, you know, and again, even with the second one, we've been given more time, but the movie's so much bigger, you know, so I mean, like relative to the first one, it's sort of the same ambitious, fast-paced schedule.
I think the only thing I can complain about is sand getting in my eye. But, I mean, if that's the only thing you can complain about, I feel like you have a pretty good job.
It's all worth it. I kept telling him, pain is temporary, film is forever. That's the motto of these movies.
They were all troopers. I was like, you know, you guys have truly survived the Scorch.
Thomas, watch out! Get back, get back, get back! Jesus! Her eyes!
The creatures of our movie are really the cranks, so these sort of inhuman, disease-ridden characters that are driven insane by the virus that they have in their brains.
We called it the flare, a deadly virus that attacks the brain. It is violent, unpredictable, incurable.
We tried to set something up in the first movie, basically, where you're left with these people who slowly are losing themselves and becoming something else. It tries to turn you into a walking host, essentially, for the virus itself.
The cranks and Scorch will essentially serve as our grievers in a way, and they're more cranks.
Wow, they are hideous, and they get worse as you go in the movie.
Well, Wes wanted to make sure that for Scorch trials, the cranks weren't just zombies.
It's like we just want to be careful that we're not just doing this.
He wanted to make sure that there was some other implied thing going on.
Wes is a pleasantly innovative talent.
How's a good crank look?
Veiny and gross.
We started off with our early tests. The cranks was the main focus thing, so we did a lot of different design for potential CGI characters, real puppets, with Wes chiming in and approving them and critiquing and asking us to change things. We just kind of evolved them as we shot them now maybe 20 times more. So we work with the wardrobe, the hair department, and ourselves.
Quite a lot of I got going on right here. I went back to Quasimodo, researched his development, because he's the master.
Trying to come up with some cool, almost spastic kind of movements that make them scary, and the sound design is really cool. But just that little pop up and then really violent, you're really closer on that one, I think. It's something I think people can really fear and relate to, or at least understand, essentially, from a conceptual level. Because, you know, our cranks that really are what James calls the far gone cranks, they're absolutely hideous. Full CG cranks can just make them thinner than they possibly could be, and, you know, have parts of their face missing.
I think from the very beginning we knew we were going to have cranks that were real humans with makeup and computer-generated cranks. We have early stage, we have a mid stage, we have a what we call 2 3/4 stage, and we have a third stage. 2 3/4 and third stage are all completely CG. All of our computer-generated ones are based on actual real human movement, though. Brenda struggles with one, and that it's a guy in a gray suit, and he's got markers on his gray suit. And Weta removes that guy in the gray suit and puts in their computer-generated crank. Pretty straightforward process, a lot of hard work.
Initially, going at it with testing, it was very laborious because we started off a little bit more ambitious because we knew there was going to be a final metamorphosis of CGI created living veins, as if they had bacteria in their veins that turned them into like worms or parasites or something. And Wes didn't want that. I think he wanted to keep it a more subtle human touch because a lot of these characters in the story are suffering and they're still there and you still know the guy who's your best buddy or your girlfriend. Wes didn't want that to be lost in something that was so horrible.
It's that smell.
We did a lot of research into bath salts and rabies and sort of things that truly destroy the mind and sort of seem to fill people with this sort of aggressive quality. Sonia Hayes is our costume designer. She's extraordinary. She's really designed the look of the cranks.
Being a crank is really uncomfortable. So they kind of rip their clothes. It's all the clothes is used in the movie, but they're literally kind of like doing this with the clothes. So depending on what stage they are and slightly ripped, more ripped, and then very, very falling apart, because people that are in a third stage, they are very sick and kind of are going mad.
The conversation that I had at the beginning with Wes, what kind of feeling he wanted to achieve with that, and then I was trying to figure out how to get there with the clothes. It's actually a lot of clothes, because we are portraying that like the world has sort of ended, so we had to supply everything and dress everybody in order to achieve that look, and everything had to be dirty and ripped and stuff like that. So here we are in our aging, dying, distressing area with the cranks in the mall. That is probably the most distressing that we have done, because they are ripped, and the idea was that the flare develops, that they start going crazy and kind of ripping the clothes off them, and feeling of madness. They over-dye the whole garments, and then here on this they hang them and they just pour the dye on them so that it just looks like part of the stuff was bleached on the sun, part of the got dirty. It's amazing, all different kinds of tools that they're using to achieve this special effect.
I see you've met our guard dogs.
The ante is up, certainly, with the makeup characters that we got to help create in the way of the cranks. The cranks evolve with this disease that manifests itself in different stages. It starts as a very, makeup stage, and it moves into what I think is the fun stages when we start doing prosthetic appliances.
Fell asleep and I woke up as a crank.
We have, prosthetic stuff where it's like we show the range of progression of this virus. Mark did a great job of this stuff and making it real.
And there are veins that are clumping, like worms or snakes in a group. And then we started gluing down the veins we found to fit those patterns and painted along those lines.
This vein's popping out. Feel this, it feels weird. Does it feel cool? Yeah. Well, that one is peeling. It's quite cool.
They would look like a burn blister.
It's my favorite one.
I always love to do this. Kind of give them the nice infected look.
We made our appliances out of very sheer translucent silicone. And what's great about these silicones that we have to work with today, as opposed to the opaque materials of the past, is that they look more like skin because light passes into them. They have a kind of a waxy quality.
We got our best makeups down to 2.5 hours for each one. It started out, and some of them as much as 4.5 hours at times for some of these characters.
Probably took 3+ hours. Seemed like we were in there for 1.5 hours or so. We took a lunch break and then we went back for another 1.5 hours.
We are now being turned into cranks. Thomas is having a dream sequence, and he views some of his best friends as cranks.
All right, you ready? You ready? You want me to do it for you? All right. There you go. Amazing. Oh.
The key element was the contact lenses.
I put in contacts like once when I was in a boy band and they wanted me to wear contacts.
You were in a boy band?
I was in a boy band. But now I'm not. Now I'm a crank and I have to put contacts in and I'm kind of freaking out.
Try to relax. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Is it in?
It's in.
Yeah. I have a translucent gray fence on my eyes.
But there's nothing in my right eye besides the contact, right?
Correct.
All right, well, let's commit. Come in. Go hard or go home.
Come on, let's get it.
So
I'd rather go home.
Relax. All the way towards your nose.
One more.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just a little punk. I've never put I've never put anything in my eyes before. So.
I'm going to be probably like you. I'm going to be awful.
No,
it's just right.
I've got right. No. Did I get it?
No.
We knew that the last stage of infection will be a full digital creature. So the previous stages were what were relegated to practical makeup.
This is just to give the real nice effect of sick, very, very tired kind of look.
The wardrobe would rip a big giant hole on Wes's request, so we'd have to jam in there and throw some kind of a spattering or suggested marbling, you know, like death marbling.
It was kind of a mutual kind of collaboration. They had appliances, and then sometimes they would tell us where they want to apply. Obviously, we would usually leave the face and the neck open, and then the rest of the body would be kind of, okay, let's put it here, or, oh yeah, look, we have a huge hole on the clothes, put it here. So it was kind of a collaboration.
We're taking the cranks even in a way further direction than even what James did. Still trying to hold on to the spirit of what James kind of created. Yeah, it's a kind of an interesting little monster.
What's scary about the cranks is you can't reason with them, and they're super aggressive and violent. It's sort of real because they're right there, you know, and it's certainly more violent because there's a lot more interaction with our guys and the cranks. One of the most exciting action sequences in the movie is when Brenda and Thomas in the tunnels come upon these most advanced stages of cranks who are terrifying. And in their escape, all of a sudden come out into the world of a ruined city. And one of the buildings of the city, this glass skyscrapers, has fallen across a gorge. It's really, really cool.
We call it the leaning building sequence, and it's an exquisite sequence inside the building. There was a previs process, and it's pretty much in 3 phases. There's a phase where they first enter the building and they have these cranks chasing them, and they start climbing up something that is the inside of a building that's at just ridiculously strange angles. And nothing's right. You know, you're very disoriented, although you can see sort of the atrium of that building when you first enter. Beautiful shot. They start climbing, they start chasing. That sequence is followed by, they get into a stairwell being chased. That stairwell's at a weird angle as well, and it's just crazy. And then the last part of it, she falls through a door in a room that's 45 degrees, and she slides straight to a window. And then that animatic was handed to Dan Torrance, the production designer. And what can you build for us to use that's real, that they can crawl over? And this is a pretty big set.
Basically, I start off doing illustrations that kind of get the overall notion there. Wes and I talk about it, make some adjustments. You build on top of that, and then start refining down within. The hardest part is getting what does it feel like ultimately.
Okay.
You're building a building sideways, and so gravity at some point takes over. So Dillon and Rosa, who were in wires the whole time, are having to work through all these kind of, glass and steel broken pieces. Not an easy sequence to shoot. We shot them on gimbals, and all these pieces of the building. So we would move from one set piece to another set piece. They're sideways.
He just climbed this thing like a spider. Now, folks at home, he just made that look easy, but what he just did was not easy at all.
It's difficult, and I did it too, and it's really difficult when you have these stairs at a 45-degree angle and everything. There's no flat footing anywhere. So it's like you're constantly slipping around and tripping, and so a lot of times they were on little wires just in case, but they were never being held up by these things, and it was fantastic.
Okay.
Come on, I could do that. Yeah.
Dan designed the interior of a stairwell that was totally mangled, and then we have the set where they slide. And each one requires other things in the computer world to add to it to finish it off. But it's holding to the original animatic. The original animatic was great.
And so finally we get to the point when Brenda almost falls out and tumbles down hundreds of feet.
Okay, go! Brenda! Brenda!
And so finally Thomas does his cool little heroic moment and saves her. It's kind of his first time he saves her versus her saving him, which is kind of cool.
It's a really good action scene. Just the idea of having a leaning building and setting the event there is really genius on Wes's part. You go through this shocking thing. These cranks just come out that hole, and you have that kind of fast-paced beat. Then they have to go into this next rat's nest. All of that works for me as a really nice action sequence and a scary sequence too.
So we didn't want to do anything full CG. We wanted to always have something real in the frame.
Grab my hand. No.
I had this great crew, awesome people, and fortunately all those things came together very, very well. It's just this really cool set piece to kind of have a really fun, tension-filled kind of scene, and it turned out pretty cool.
As much as it has visual effects, the highlight of the film is there's this really good drama that takes you immediately from the first film and pulls you into this film with great pacing, great timing.
People see it, it's so much bigger than the first movie.
So I wasn't going to do a sequel, but I got hooked into it. I couldn't let someone else take the ball. The other movie, it was very small, like I said, but we kind of used it to our advantage. We created this kind of sense of claustrophobia and tight spaces, and used it for the story.
There's such a mystery in the first movie, and it's like part of what makes it so great, because you know nothing, like starting out, and that's what's so amazing about the story and the initial telling of it, And then even after you kind of find out everything you do, by the end of the movie, there's still so much to be revealed.
The first film I thought was pretty fast-paced. I think this one's going to be even more. It just doesn't really stop.
We don't know really where we're going. Everything is out to get us. It's fast, it's strong, it's big. I think it's twice the size of the first movie.
By nature, Scorch Trials is a bigger film in scope. The scope of what you capture on screen and the journey that the kids go through is just, I think, mind-blowing.
We kind of left in the heaviest terms. We just battled our way out of the maze, fought grievers, lost friends.
A lot of weight and drama. It's fun. It feels like a different movie, but still belongs in the story that we started setting up in the first one.
This, what you're talking about, is impossible.
It's not just about me, no. It's about all of us. It's about everyone Wicked's ever taken, everyone they will take. They'll never stop.
Wow, it's a good speech, kid. So what's your plan?
I'm gonna kill Ava Page.
A little further, guys.
There they are. That's where we're going.
Oh my God! Thomas!
Wait, you didn't? Did anyone say action?
Yeah, sorry, we didn't have action.
That's why I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Wes!
We were like, okay, well, let's save it for the take.
I can't hear you, Lonnie.
Hey, Mark. It's just not thought up.
Good.
Sorry.
You didn't think you were just going to be able to go straight through.
Thomas.
You never seen that line anymore?
No.
Copy that. I want to go to the zoo and see the flamingos.
I can't remember your name.
Jansen.
What's with the rat man?
I don't know, but I think he's on Game of Thrones.
Get a Stone Cold Steve Austin. Winston!
Oh God!
In like all day, guys.
In like all day.
This is where our acting abilities are truly tested.
Ready?
Get down. Everybody hide! Hide! Where? Get down. Everybody hide! Hide! What did we talk about? From behind. Go! Here we go!
Ready?
Woo!
I'm here, guys. 376.
Okay, come on, come on! There's no one with me.
You want me to do the last line? Yeah, that'll work. And action. What's the last line? I know you think so too. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Good.
Ain't he the best?
Do you want me to leave?
God damn it.
Go back up.
I don't want them to feel any pain.
They won't feel a thing.
Good cut. Cutting.
What are you doing here? Oh shit! Sorry guys. You alright? Sorry. I wasn't going to. Stand back, stand back! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! 2, 3! Go, go, go! Come on, come on, come on! Holy f***! Yeah! It's guys, it's granted. It's open. It's not opening. It's granted, but it's not opening. Now it's denied. Shit. Come on.
Yeah, all right, let's go. We win.
Thomas!
Shit, sorry. Damn it. Damn it.
Wicked got inside of her head. Same way they did all of us. Same way they did to us? All right. Yeah!
Cut, cut! Cut, cut! Nailed it!
And our boogie.
Go!
Now get to work.
Scorch.
Okay, Scorch, yeah.
Nailed.
I know.
All right. How's that distance, guys? Cool. Good? You good, Dave?
Jula loves it.
Here we go.
Jula, wake up.
Is it good? Okay, then I'm... Mwah.
Jula, kiss me.
Dylan, sorry. Can you move a little bit too?
Oh my god, that's amazing. Are you alright? How you doing?
Okay, so we're always looking at the X, or we're looking at the green thing.
Always
then
looking
the
at the X and just like,
Oh, okay.
throw your distance.
Through it.
Okay, great.
Through it.
Okay, still
And
rolling?
also act.
Especially when I hear them chattering over the airwaves.
Hey everybody, say hi to the camera.
Everyone to the mad wing.
Oh no.
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Again?
Get that door open! Get that door open! One more time!
It will go down.
How's it looking?
It's great! I know.
That was so much fun.
And I'm going to get rich.
I'm sorry. That's like...
Well, you made that freaking home video back in 19...
I was drunk. Can I hand it back?
Sorry, man.
Look at Done. Right? Cut.
Sorry, camera. I hit your camera.
Who cares? Who cares? God damn it.
A duck, man.
Go.
You kids really need to show. You kids really need to know how to trust someone.
Let's go.
Go.
Go. Go.
And cut. He hung us.
Okay, Harris, go. Harris, go, baby, go. Go, baby.
99 Nancy, now take 2, sound speed.
I'm back on the beam again.
Okay, ready?
Where? I don't know where. Okay, that was. Kirky, it's so funny when you do that.
Kirky.
See that blue thing that I'm looking at?
Oh yeah, that. Yeah, okay.
Cool, now we'll be on the same island.
Alright, cut there.
That's good.
You two here for the party? What are you talking about?
We don't have a lot of time.
What's that? Oh, I forgot, sorry.
It's okay.
Over here.
Yeah, it's okay. Let me see you come in here.
Sorry.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Come on. I'm sorry.
Thomas! Oh, I'm gonna step forward.
Yes. Go again.
Thomas! You're right there.
I know.
Where's Bertha?
Not Bertha. Not Bertha.
I don't know. Okay, we get the car. Let's go. Shotgun.
Talk, you son of a bitch! Okay.
Whoa.
One more?
You got me on that, man.
One more?
Yeah.
Faster on the Brenda. I'm gonna get to that.
Just overall or when I look to her?
Just overall.
Yeah. Okay.
Ready?
Take the actor fat out, Dylan.
Talk, you son of a bitch! Get up and then get up.
Oh.
That's alright, keep going.
Stop.
Keep going though.
Sorry, bro.
Keep going.
I thought since we crossed the line.
And you're probably right, actually. Cut.
All right. Holy shit. Oh, that's nice. Kurt, good pillow work, baby. The man knows a neck and what it likes.
Hop in. Sorry, I totally didn't look at the mark. Sorry.
We said so rolling.
You know where they are?
Hop in.
Oh my god, I can't.
Hop in.
Okay. Hey, Kat, I see you in the window. Right on. You know where they are? Mm-hmm. Kat!
I'm going after her.
Hey, Dylan, look.
Wow. Wow. It's okay, baby. Yes, Barry?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, that was awesome.
Rose got my nose! Rose got my nose!
Let's get out of here! Go! 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 Hey! Hey! Get out of here! Hey! Hey! You leave! Reset then? Go! 2, 3.
You gotta wait till the back.
Keep on! Come on, man. Fourth sexiest man in the world can't push me.
I got you. Hey, Harris! Harris!
Where's Teresa?
Where is Teresa?
Why didn't you run? You still haven't yet. I'm gonna kill Ava Page.
Haircut!
This is good. This is on, we're rolling on this.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome to Scorch House.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna never appear anywhere.
This is good stuff, though.
What? Cool. Cut.